So today's topic is building enterprise website with Liferay. First of all, thank you for joining and giving us your valuable time and join us as a webinar. We'll make sure that we give you quality as an webinar, and we provide you value of your time during this webinar. During the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to post it in a comment. And at the end of the webinar, we will make sure we cover all questions. So this is the title of webinar where we will be building enterprise website with Liferay. So in this webinar, we will be building a simple page with Figma and Liferay using out-of-the-box capabilities. Then coming to the speakers, here I'm 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐜𝐭 I'm practice at IGNEK, and here with me I have Nishita, who is Liferay developer, and she will be presenting the flow of webinar. We at IGNEK, we are specialized in delivering exceptional digital experience by utilizing the various technologies. Like here in this webinar, we are using Liferay. So we will be using Liferay to create this seamless omni-channel experience, and we are here to improve the product. Okay, we have quite good years of experience in Liferay. We have mentioned here, like we have 10 years of experience in our company. We have a team of certified Liferay developer, and we provide solution that is tailored to customer needs. Okay, so whatever requirement customer is having, we map it with Liferay's capability, and we provide unique solution. And we provide end-to-end Liferay's implementation from our end, like by designing the solution until go live. And also we provide support as well. Coming to the next slide, what is Liferay? So Liferay is a platform, all-in-one platform, which powers B2B, B2C, and B2E solution. It provides seamless integration with many other tools and technology, third-party applications and all. And it provides features like creating and managing roles, then defining workflows, defining public websites. You can play around with roles and permissions. So Liferay has a unique control panel where you can do all of this admin work. You can manage workflow cycle. Let's say in customer requirement, we have approval system for content. So whenever any content is created, it will not be published automatically, but it will require some approval from authorized persons. So that kind of workflow we can easily create with Liferay and integrate it with any assets like static content or dynamic content, and we can use workflow. Then we can have low code no code practice with Liferay. Okay, so it will be useful to create engaging experience to end users. And then I have the capabilities by Liferay. So here we have a list of the capabilities which is available in Liferay, which is not limited to this, but we have lots of more capabilities from this. But here I have mentioned some major capabilities. So first one is AI, artificial intelligence. Like Liferay has support for AI. Liferay supports open API integration, which we can use to build or generate content, static content. We can use to generate blogs. We can use AI to generate images from the Liferay itself. So Liferay out of the box integration with AI, with OpenAI, and from control panel itself, we can use AI to generate content for us. Then if I go to the low code, as low code no code is in market, like we have objects, we have collections into Liferay. So let's say in earlier system, we were used to develop backend code to generate services. So now Liferay is providing control panel way, which is object. You can define schema into Liferay itself, and Liferay will create APIs, services for those objects. So you don't need to do any development. You don't need to run your deployment cycle, and you can create APIs from control panel directly, and that is also easily integrated with Liferay frontend or React frontend. We can use React APIs into our React module, or we can use collections to display those objects on Liferay page. Then Liferay has good content management system. So Liferay has assets. So in asset, Liferay has web contents, blogs, then wiki, message boards, documents. So this type of assets Liferay is managing. So whatever static data we want to store, we can store it into any of this form, and we can utilize those while building application. Over here, we have lots of features, like we can apply workflows on this content management. We can divide content with different tags, different categories, and this is also stored into Elasticsearch. So when you use search, all content which is created, we can render it into our search page. So we can easily search a particular or relevant content. Then Liferay has commerce. So let's say if you want to build a commerce website, let's say you have products, you have catalogs, and you want to maintain products and orders and refunds, payments. So you can do everything from Liferay itself by just control panel, and you don't need to develop workspace for this. So Liferay's capability, if you want to develop commerce, you can do it out of the box. Then cloud. So Liferay comes with cloud deployment as well, but it is also providing facility to have self-hosted as well. But cloud is also supported in Liferay. Then I have digital asset management. Like whatever document we want to store, we can store it into Liferay. Over here also we have workflow supported. We can have approval process on the document. Then here, good thing is, like, it is not limited to the Liferay. Let's say you don't want to use Liferay's file storage, you want to use AWS storage, you can configure that. Let's say you have dedicated server where the files will be managed. So you can configure that external server as a DEM into Liferay, and Liferay will use that folder, that dedicated folder, to store all the digital files. So this kind of configuration we are getting from Liferay. And also, like, features like once you have uploaded one image and you want to crop it or you want to resize it, everything can be done from Liferay itself. Then I have sites. Let's say in one Liferay platform you want to have multiple sites. So you can define multiple sites which can be configured with multiple domains, and you can even manage content at common place, which is like global, and you can use that content into multiple sites. So it will be benefit, like it will give unique experience to different sites, and you can manage content easily across all sites. So we will get lots of capabilities for sites as well, like we will be able to share the document from one site to another. We will be able to share content from one site to another. So all of these features, like content management system and digital assets management and low code, is supported at site level as well and Liferay level as well. Then Liferay is all about integration. Let's say if I talk about low code, Liferay's object, which is creating database tables into Liferay when you create any object from frontend. Let's say you don't want to store data into Liferay, you have Salesforce or Sugar CRM where you want to store that data. So that is also possible with Liferay low code, no code integration points. So over there, you can just configure your endpoint with credential, and you can configure that when you create object definition. So whenever any entry is into created, it will use your database, not Liferay database. So that kind of things are there. Then like other things like LDAP, SSO, those are available out of the box. Then we can do page speed insight integration. Then let's say we have digital signature on documents. So this kind of integration available. Earlier, as I mentioned, we can do out of the box integration for AI. So that is also out of the box integration which is supported. Then if I go to search, Liferay has search facility, and Liferay use Elasticsearch to provide this flexibility, where Liferay has default widgets, search widgets, which we can use to sort and filter the results. And also we can do styling for that, and we can design the layout of the page for that search. And also we can configure what records will be displayed and what records will not be displayed. So that kind of configuration we can do with Liferay. Then we have personalization. Let's say you want to implement personalization for your single website where the data will be different for different users. So all user will have their unique experience. So that you can do easily with Liferay using Liferay personalization capabilities, where Liferay segments and role-based restrictions. So all of that feature we can utilize to create personalized dashboards, personalized page and all. And then I have security. So Liferay is all about security as well. Like Liferay has passed all or major security standard, which should be passed for CMS and DAM and other capabilities. Liferay has certificates for all those security standard as well. So these are the major capabilities from Liferay. Now going to the topic of our demo. So as the demo is on building enterprise website of using Liferay. So we have first introduction of webinar, then we have some out of the box features, from where we will show most prominent out of the box feature which is generally used to build a unique experience for user. Then whatever page we will be creating, we will demonstrate it live. Then at last we have conclusion, and then we will have question and answer session. So from this, I will hand over this call to Nisita, where she will be presenting her screen and showing the rest of the slides and demo.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bhargav, for giving this great introduction to our company and Liferay as well. So, hello everyone, I am Nishtha Sejwani and I will give you the whole presentation of the Liferay's OOTB features, like how can we implement a website using the Liferay's OOTB feature, in which we don't create so much code to implement our components. So whether you are a developer, you are a designer, or either if you are not from the IT background, but you can create the stunning websites using the Liferay's OOTB features. So before starting, let me just share my screen. I hope it's visible. Bhargav, can you confirm?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So firstly, we have to move to the introduction part. So in this whole session, I will be your guide to like how can we build an enterprise kind of like websites using the Liferay OOTB features. So in this session, we will see a demo as well. I will give you the Figma as well. I will show you the Figma, like this kind of website I will make in this demo session. So let me just give you a small description about the OOTB features. So OOTB features are basically, it is the out of the box features of the Liferay. Like how can we use their own components with our Liferay UI. Like you can see in the websites, we have the banner, we have the cards component, we have carousels. So we have some basic kind of components like the navigation bar, the header and footers. So the OOTB features is something like is given by the Liferay's own site. We just have to take it from the Liferay's end and we just have to put it on our UI to get the stunning website. So here are some benefits of this OOTB features. The first thing is the time efficiency, because we are using their features, we are using their components, so we don't have to write a lot of code. So it becomes time efficient, and then we have cost effectiveness, and there is an ease of use. So in the beginning, I have said that if you are a developer, if you are a designer, or even if you are not from the IT background, you can create your website. Then there's a scalability, there's a seamless integration. So as Bhargav already mentioned that Liferay has this kind of capabilities that you can integrate your React applications, your Angular applications inside the Liferay as well. Then we have the customizability. So in this whole demo, we have used the Liferay's OOTB. So sometimes it is possible that we want our own CSS, our own JavaScript for some functioning. So we can do the customization as well. And after that, we have the reliability and maintenance. And now I will switch to the most prominent Liferay OOTB features. So in this demo, we have used a lot of OOTB features, but I just give you a quick description about what are the main OOTB features. So in the first thing, we have the fragments. So fragments are generally the combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we have some basic components that we can use in our UI. But if you want to make your own fragment, you can make your own fragment as well by using just the HTML and CSS. After that, we have the collection display. It is basically used for showing the list of the web contents or showing the list of the basic, like we have a lot of content if we want to show that in a list format. So we use the collection display. And then we have the forms and workflow. We have multiple language configuration. Yeah, so in our demo, we have implemented this multiple language configuration so that we will show you that how you can make the enterprise level website with the language change also, which I will show you in the demo as well. Then we have documents and media library. This is basically a feature given by the Liferay. If you want to store some images, if you want to store PDF, any kind of document, you can just store it in the document and media libraries. Then we have navigation menus. So navigation menu, as I said in the header section, it is like very common part. We have the navigation menus, and it becomes a little bit hectic to manage the pages, and as well as we have to manage the linking process. So the navigation menu is already given by the Liferay, and we use that only on our demo. And then we have breadcrumbs. If you have a hierarchy of pages and if you want to show on your home page or maybe on the banner, so we just have to use this breadcrumb. Then we have calendar widget. Okay, so some websites are there which are fully dependent on the calendar and on the event management. So that can easily implemented by the Liferay, and because they give the calendar widget. And then we have the search widget. As Bhargav mentioned this as well. We have the search functionality already in the Liferay portal. So we don't have to take a lot of time, take a lot of coding to implement the search things. So now we have to start the demo. Okay, so let me share the Figma first. So as you can see, we have this Figma. There are navigation menu, there are headers, there are some common components, there is an image, and there is a leading companies. And then we have speaker section. In this, we are showing the cards. And after that, we have the client says in the carousel pattern. And after that, we have the FAQ sections. And at the end, we have the footer part. Okay, so now this is my Liferay. And I have already created this website. Just we need to implement the replica of this site. So first step is to create the page. So if I go to there, and we have the pages section. And inside the pages section, I just create a new page. Okay, while creating a page, it gives me two basic templates, which is first is the blank page, which is given by the Liferay, and the second one is the master page. Okay, so the master page is already created by myself. So just quickly give you a short description about the master page. First, I create this. I have just created this page. And as you can see, the header part and the footer part are already there while I'm creating the page. So this is the specialty of the master page, which is given by the Liferay's OOTB feature. Like if you have something you want to show on each and every page of your Liferay portal, you just use the master page. I have only in drag and drop, or I can say implement this header and footer only on the one time on the master page. And whenever I'm creating the another pages, I just have to select that master page. So this both things are already come up on my every of the pages. So if I publish this page, and if I go to my recent created page, yeah. So as you can see in my new page, I have the header and I have the footer as well. So I want to show a quick insight of the master page, like how I create the master page. Okay, so as you can see, I have used the container. It is also from the Liferay OOTB. Then I have create my own fragment, which is the header, because yeah, I have to create my own fragment because I want some customization there. As you can see, I have the logo, I have the navigation. The navigation is from the Liferay's end, and then I have the language selector. And language selector is again from the Liferay's OOTB to switch the language in the Arabic pattern. So we will give this at the end. But yeah, this is just a short insight of like how I create this. If you can see in the footer part, I have this container, and then I add some spacer to give some space there. And in the another container, I have used this grid section to create this. So basically, for the footer section, I didn't use a single line of code. I just put the OOTB features from the Liferay's end, and I just put that on my UI. And this whole footer is completed. So yeah, just giving you another component inside. And after this, I have another container inside which I have just put this grid section to make this free part. And after this, I have implement. Okay, the HTML is also given by the Liferay's end if you have a small piece of code. So you can just use this HTML, and if you double click that, it gives you the space to write the HTML as well. So for this, I have used the HTML. Then we have button as well. And yeah, and something this kind of I have implemented in the master page so that I can get this both thing on each and every page. Okay. Now I have to move on the another part. So yeah, so this is our the first section, which is our banner. So let's just quickly implement this. First, I take container. I quickly change the color. Okay, so the color is already defined by myself in the style book. So style book is generally the theme, like which decide your theme of your whole site. So whenever you install the Liferay, you have a classic theme by default, which is given by the Liferay's end. So it has some own colors, it has some own typography, but this is not necessarily we want that colors and that typography at all the time. So you can change everything from the style side, and it will automatically render on each and every page of your site. So I have just put these colors, and you can see the typography as well in the further demo. So you have a understanding of like how can we use the style book as well. So I'm just selecting this color, which I already changed in the style book. So this all colors are coming from my style book. Just quickly give you. Okay, as you can see in the master, I have selected my master page. If you create a master page, just make it as a default, so it will take that only. In the style book, I also create the default one, so it will take my style book over the Liferay's style book. So that's why it already comes with my colors. So yeah, I am giving this color because I want that color in my banner, and then I want one heading. So these are the basic components, which is basically the fragment part. It has some HTML, some CSS. So like you don't have to write the code. Just taking this heading, just copy pasting this. And now I'm changing the style from the style section. I'm changing the color to white, also the alignment, and I want some spacing. So I just use the spacer. I give it some height to 5. And after that, I have a paragraph. Okay, just change the style of this. Changing the style. Also the alignment of this. In the content from here. I want some space in between the title and the paragraph. So I just put this spacer in between them. I take the height to. After that, I will put a button. Change the alignment. Give another spacer here as well. Okay. I preview this. Yeah, so I can see there are a lot of spacing. So I just create some spacing. Okay, so in this webinar, we have to complete this website. So I'm not able to make a website with the pixel perfect. So I just take the roughly pixels and the roughly values to make it look like the Figma. So this is my header, this is my, and what I do now, I take another container. And what I do, I just put this whole container inside my parent container. And the child container should have this fixed width. It has something like this. Now what I need to do, I have to remove the color from here. And I have to add the color here, which is the parent container. Yeah, something like this. So it has some spacing from the left and the right. And this will become the whole standard for this today's demo so that our whole website looks uniform. So we will make in this way. And now I can see we want some more space. So what I do in my inside one container, I just take some left and right padding so that it becomes a little bit more like Figma. And if you want, we can set it a little bit more. Yeah. And when I publish this, it looks like this. And also in the button section, I want to add my IGNEK site so that whenever someone is click on the IGNEK site, it should redirect to the IGNEK site. Let me change the content. Okay, everything which we are using from the Liferay then it's all our editable fields. You can change the content anytime. And then I'm switching. Okay, so in the Figma, as you can see, we have to put this image as well. So I need some extra height. So what I do, I put a space, make the height. I keep this 5 because I need height. For now, I'm just keeping 3 times. And then first I'll switch to the second section and then I will come back to this image part. So for the second section, again, I'm taking a container. Inside this container, first I need to change the background color, and I want this gray kind of color. And then I put the grid because I want 5 images in the flex position. And you can change the number of as well. As you can see in my Figma, I have 5 images, so I want 5 sections. And inside each section, I want the image. And this is all are from the Liferay, and I didn't create any of the fragment. So what I want, I have to give some in the original size, and I'm taking the alignment should be in the center. Now I just duplicate this, put it in all the sections. Now I'm selecting the image. So this is from the document and media. Yeah, 5 images. Okay. So as you can see, we want some space here as well. Here spacing, and it should inside the container. Inside above this grid. And I keep the height 5 because I need height. Okay. Also add some spacing below this grid section. Change the height into 3. And as you can see, it looks like this. But I want this spacing, which is the like common spacing. So I need one more container, as it is we did for the previous section. I just take this whole container inside this, and in the second container, and just make it fixed width. And in the first container, I will take the color. Now it looks like this. Okay. Just publish this page, and as of now, it's look like this. And we can also give the link for the images as well. Just quickly show you. As you can see, we have this URL section for the image as well. And now I'm switching to this image. I have created my own fragment for this because I need some styling which regarding to the positions. So I have to make my own fragment for this, in which there is an image and some styling. That's it. So that it will be placed automatically. Yeah, as you can see. Just quickly give you a short insight of the fragment as well. As you can see, the hero image, I have used this fragment. So what I just use, I just take an image, which is the editable. So whenever you want to change the image, you can change that image. And this is a little bit about the CSS, because this is not like the given by the Liferay. So you have to make your own fragment if you want some customizations. Okay. So as of now, it is looking fine. Just have to add a paragraph as well. Okay, I have to change the font size. Just give it 20. You can give any of the style from this style section. I'm taking a paragraph, this, and I need a spacing. So I'm just duplicating this and place in between the paragraph the images. And this, changing the alignment. And that's all. Just have to change the font size as well. Okay. So as you can see, we have implemented the two section. And now we have to move forward to our speaker section, which are basically the list of speakers, the card view. So what I do for this, again, the same process. The first container I will take. Okay. Now we have to move to our third section. So in first, I have heading. Inside this heading, I'm taking this content, doing some style, and I need a space in between these two sections. Make the height 5. And after this, we have one paragraph. This paragraph is outside the container. In the content for this paragraph, pasting it, giving the style, and changing the font size. Also, I'm adding a spacer between these two. So as you can see, inside my container, we have the heading, we have the paragraph, and in between these two, we have a spacer. So I'm keeping the height to 2. After this, we have this card section. So this is basically the listing. There's a listing of speakers which we want to show on the UI. So for this, what I do, I have used the web structures to just define the fields. So as you can see, we have one image, we have this designation, we have the name, and we have a short description. And also we have the LinkedIn profile in which we can attach any of the link. So for this fields, I have used the web structure, and then the web content I have used for putting the content. Let me just quickly show you how we have implemented this. Just closing this fragment. And as you can see, we have the structure. And in the structure, I have create the fields just. Like we want image, we want designation, like this number of fields. Then in the web content, I make a folder and all the content which is related to this, like the name, the designation, I have put the content over here. As you can see, we have the image, we have the designation, we have the name, and we have the short description. So I have created this two web content for this. And what I need to do, I just have to render this web content. So for render this web contents, what I do, I just take the collection display, which is the very important and very special feature of the Liferay, because it is very easy to take the list of all the web contents. So what I need to do, I have to select a collection. So I already create this selection. So I'm choosing the speaker collection. I will give you a short insight of the collection as well. As you can see, I have this speaker collection in which it gives me the flexibility to choose what kind of structure you want to show. So whatever kind of web content you have created by choosing this speaker detailed structure, it will directly show on your UI. Because as you can see, I have selected this structure and create this collection. And this icon is called the dynamic. I have created this collection dynamic so that whenever I have some another speakers as well, or I have some other content. So if I want to add that web content as well, so it will directly come on the UI. I don't have to change the code. I don't have to change the configuration again. So this is the dynamic collection. As you can see, I have two web contents, one for the Bhargav and one for the me. So it makes the space for the two speakers. There is speaker 1 and there is a speaker 2. I just have to put a fragment now so that it takes the CSS only. I just quickly show you. I have this speaker fragment, which is also the fragment implemented by myself. Okay, so in the fragment, I didn't do a lot of things. I just have to put the image and this fields so that it gives you some basic style of a single card. Other things are handled by the Liferay itself. So now what I need to do, as you can see inside my collection, I have this speaker fragment and I have this 5 fields, as I already mentioned in the structure as well. So what I do, I just map the data. I have this flexibility to choose. If I map, as you can see, we have the structure fields. So there is a speaker image. So whenever I choose the speaker image, you can see the images are automatically there from the web content. Like it directly get the data from the web content. If I map this, we have this designation in the speaker name. We have the name field for this speaker para. We have the detail. And in the LinkedIn, as of now, I am putting the same thing, the IGNEK's website as of now. I'm taking this and I'm just putting this over here. As of now, it looks like this. But I want the card should be shown in the flags and in the 2 columns. So what I need to do, in the collection display, you have this kind of configurations here. This is already in the grid, but I want in the 2 columns. So when I select the 2 columns, it already shows like this. First, I need a spacer again, and between the collection and the paragraph. taking this and place in between. Okay, so now it's look like this, but we have to do this thing because this is the standard alignment, and we can say the standard spacing from the left and the right side. So for this, I'm taking a container again, just putting over here, and I'm just keep this container inside this parent container. In the child, I'm changing this container width to fixed width. Now it looks fine. I don't want this pagination, so you have to go inside your collection and then just take it none, and you can select the number as well, like the number of items you want to show. You can give any of the number, or if you don't want to show any of the pagination, you just select this none. If you want to show all the content without pagination, so like it is not recommended, but yeah, you can do this by selecting this, display all collection items. And just you have to remind this, you just have to create the collection with a dynamic one, so that whenever you create one more web content, it will directly come up over here. Now, just publish this first. Yeah, it looks nice. After this, let's move to the fourth section, which is what our client says. For this section, first I will give a space, just duplicating this, and keep this after my container. Okay. Inside this container, I am just taking this title, just duplicating this, and keeping this, just add a spacer. Okay. Giving the height 5. Change the content from here. And after this, I need a paragraph as well. Taking this. Okay. Outside the container. Changing the content. Need a spacer. And duplicating this. For this as well. Okay. So now this carousel part, as you can see, we have the carousel. So the carousel, I have created my own fragment for this because I need another kind of customization like the CSS. So I just make my own fragment. Just drag and drop it. Yeah. So as you can see, it gives you the space for selecting any of the image. It gives you editable fields where I need to add some description. I need to add the client name and the client designation. So what I do, I'm just selecting the image first and the description. I'm taking this. The name section. Okay. Let me check how it looks. Okay. So now one more thing. In the client review, as you can see, I have implemented this extra field, which is the number of slides. So it should look dynamic if I want to add or remove any of the client anytime. So I have this flexibility to add or remove any of the clients. So I have made this configuration so that you can select the number of slides you want. If I have only 2 clients, so I just put it 2. If I have 3, so I will put it 3. So as of now, for this demo, I have only 2 slides. So I will keep 2 slides. So this is the first one. And if I move to the second one, I am again filling the data as I filled for the first one. Okay, so this is sliding. I'm just putting the active slide should be first as of now while I am doing the content thing. So I also take the content here, pasting the content. For the name, and the designation, yeah. I'll remove this active slide and then and publish this just to see how it's look like. Okay, the content is there. I just want to manage the spacing again. I take a container. I'm just putting and just get this flags with, so it will be managed. If I publish this, let me check. Okay, it's working. And this button is also working. I just want some spacing from the below section. What I do, I take the space, this 5. Yeah. Now I will move to this FAQ section, which is also the last section. So for the FAQ, doing the same thing again, just duplicating this. Place it inside the container. adding some space. Just duplicating this. And now for the FAQ section, we have created this in the same way as we did for the speaker section. Just a difference is that for this speaker section, I have created the fields inside the web structure. But for the FAQ section, I have choose the object fields. So we have another main feature about the Liferay OOTB is the object. Let me just quickly show you where I create the fields. And the further process is same. Like we are using the collection display, then we are using the fragment to give the styling. So another thing is same, just we need to check the object things. So as you can see, I have one folder, which is the webinar. And inside this, I have this FAQ section. So in the FAQ section, I have the fields, and I have this FAQ title, and I have this FAQ description. So these are the main two fields I want. And then I have made some configurations here, like I have selected the scope, which is the content and data, so that I can see my object inside the content and data from the UI as well. I don't have to go somewhere else to add the data, because as we have the web content inside the content and data, so it is very easy for the user as well as the developer to add the data from here only. So I have changed some configurations so that I can have my FAQ inside the content and data. So if I go to this FAQ, you can see I have 5 objects. And if I go inside this, I have this FAQ title, I have this FAQ description. And these 5 are same, just I have changed the content. If I select this just for the demo, I will delete this. So I can add something like this. Make another one. So as of now, I'm deleting this. I will show you again while I am putting the collection display. So yeah, as of now, this is the object things. And if I go to my home page, and let's configure this as well. I am again using the collection display. Gives me again the option to select the collection. So as I select the speaker collection while I'm creating the speaker section, so as it is, I have created the collection for the FAQ. So for the FAQ, as you can see, I have selected the item type, which is the FAQ, which is the object name I have created. So I'm just selecting this FAQ, and you can see it gives me the 5 sections, because as of now I have 5 FAQs, and whenever I have add the 1 or 2 FAQ, and if I remove the FAQs from here, then it is changed on the UI. And for this, I have created a FAQ fragment to give the styling, and just I have to map this, and whenever I map the first one, then it will configure for another FAQ as well. To select the description, let's check this. It is look okay. I don't give the spacing because I already give the CSS like this. I want this in the center. So let's publish this and see. Okay. Okay, there is a pagination. I have to remove this pagination. Okay, so the maximum number is the 5, and we have the 5 FAQs. Just adding space to this. Yeah, let me publish. And now it's looking like this. Okay. The last thing I want to conclude is the language thing. So as in the previous of the meeting, I've give you a small description like how can we change the language. So this is already given by the Liferay. We just have to drag and drop the language selector. And as you can see, we have this English, and second one is the Arabic one. So from the configuration, you can easily change this thing like whatever kind of language you want for your Liferay portal. You just select those languages and it will be on your UI. So now what I do, if I change this language, as you can see in the Arabic one, the content is from right to left. So it becomes right to left. Our logo is on the right and this is on the left. And I want to show some content as well. How can you change this? So as you can see, these pages. First, let's move into the pages first. I'm changing the language of now. If I go to the pages section, you can see we have the multiple pages. And if I go to the configure, it gives you this localization here. If you select this, so it is already says it is translated because I have already translated this. So in the same way, I have did already for the pages section. And also I have did for the web content. So let me show you for the web content, how can we change the language. The speaker, I'm just moving into speaker 2. And here you can see the localization. If I go to here, so I have changed a little bit about my designation and about the description. In this way, we can change the language. And for the fragment, like which we have directly drag and drop from the Liferay end, there's nothing about the custom code. So in this case, what you need to do, you can see the localization here. And now what I do, I just change the content for the title and for the paragraph for the Arabic one. So first I have to change this language. And then what I do, I just take this content from here. This is the paragraph. And I'm pasting this. The title. I have this. In this title. Yeah. Just publish it. And now, if I change the language, it should be changed. Yeah, as you can see. So how simple is this? You have to play with the language as well if you are using the Liferay or OOTB features. This is how it's easy to manage the languages also. So in the same way, we can change the language of any of the content. Yeah. Just give you a very short description about the style book as well. So this is my custom style book. And as you can see, I have changed the color from their color system. I can change the typography, like what are the font size, font weight, according to my theme, like whatever I want. For the buttons, I have already choose if the button is primary, so the background color should be this. So in this way, you can customize the whole style book. Everything is done as per the Figma. Now move the next slide. Okay, so we are in the conclusion. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy the demo session, like how can we create the enterprise language, the enterprise Liferay using the Liferay's OOTB and how we can make the websites without using so much code, and it will take not so much time. Like we have created this site, I think within the 1 hour. So yeah, it is for the.
So thank you, Nishita, for brief introduction and demonstration of the flow. So as this was a webinar and we were having the limited time, so we were not able to match it pixel perfect. But if we need to do it like Liferay all capabilities, like you can configure font size, font weight, everything from control panel itself while you are designing the page, and you can compare it with Figma then. Okay, so that was it. And moving to the question and answer. Here I have few questions. Let's say if I go to the first question, like Liferay supports multiple databases, including MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, and by default, Liferay bundle come with embedded SQL, HSQL database. Which database is best choice for optimal performance and scalability with Liferay? And additionally, if there is a need to migrate an existing database, which database would be most suitable for seamless transition for e-commerce DB? So this was a big question. So Liferay supports many databases, including MySQL, MariaDB, Postgre, where it comes with default HSQL database. And HSQL database is only recommended for testing purpose, for demonstration, or for local. For production, HSQL is not recommended. If I tell you the most recommended one, it will be Postgre, where we can do tuning to support good traffic and to scale it. Okay, but only cons is over there that it will require tuning at database level. Then let's say you have one small solution and you want a simple database. In that case, you can go with MySQL. Then let's say you have enterprise website. So for enterprise website, the Microsoft SQL or Oracle server will be recommended. So it depends on what is your requirement. Where all Liferay, all database servers that I have mentioned is supported with Liferay, and all of them can be migrated easily. Okay, like let's say you have like older Liferay version and you want to upgrade it. Whatever database you are using, everyone can be upgraded with Liferay's utility. If I go to the next question, let's say if we add lots of content, will it impact performance? As we have given you a demo where we have used lots of container inside container, and then we have used the fragments to list down the components. So if you use more component, it will not be impact on your performance. If you are designing it wisely, like you are using out of the box compatibility and you are not adding non-required JavaScript files or non-required stuff on the page, it will not impact performance. More question I have. Can we show data from more than one object in a single template similar to FAQ? Okay. Let me give you one scenario. Let's say you have two objects and you want to display both of them using a single collection display portlet. What you can do, in this case, you will not be able to do, you're able to use out of the box collection provider that is generated while you have created object definitions. In this case, you will need to create a dynamic collection. You can add those two objects entry over there, and then whatever collection you create, you use it over there into page, and then it will use both object entries from both object definition into that portlet, and then you can configure it while like Nishita has configured FAQ. I hope this answers your question. Then one question like, will recording will be shared? Yes, we will share the recording as well on YouTube from the registration page you have found on IGNEK page. Over there only you will get the video link as well. We have a few more questions. Can we use Liferay message board rather than FAQ? Yes, FAQ was a static content which was managed by internal team, and it is also easy to import object entries. Okay, so let's say that's why we choose object, but let's say we have limited components for webinar. Okay, hardly we were having 3 to 4 components where we can use a list. So one was we have used web content, and in one we have used objects, but we have lots of others, like let's say we can use blogs, we can use message boards. So based on requirement what you want to create, you can choose any of them, and you can integrate with collections, and then you can use fragments to display the record. Can we use API with the fragments? Okay, so APIs, I understood, like it will be headless APIs either provided by Liferay or external. So both are supported in Liferay. For out-of-the-box API, which is available within Liferay, Liferay has REST extension that we can use, which is one kind of utility that we can use it in fragment, and we can call any headless API, and we can fetch the data. Okay. Can we show filtered data in a fragment? So I guess filtered data in a fragment cannot be ideal requirement. Like fragment is just to visualize the data. Okay, it is not for filtering. We should not do any front-end manipulations into fragment. It is just to display the record. Either you choose collection display with collection filters, or you choose entries manually while you drag any fragment into page, or you choose any entries to link it and you do mapping. So that is the best case we should do. So in our case, what we have done, like we have used collection display. Over there we can have filters as well. Like let's say you want to have filtered data based on maybe category or tags. So you can use collection filters over there. You can configure it, and then you will have filters on page. Okay, over there you can configure that what filters will be enabled by default. So it will only show the records which is passing that filter. Okay, so there are multiple ways to do it. Either you do it from collection filter, or in collection, dynamic collection, where you are creating, when you are choosing the type of asset, like you have choose web content. Over there Nishita has choose one more filter, that it will filter by structure. So let's say if I'm using one collection display, one collection which was supposed to show the speaker, it will not show the FAQ. So that one kind of filter was already done. So over there we have lots of other. You can do category filter as well. And then, okay, that is only question we have right now. So thank you for joining this meeting. Let me share my screen again. Thank you for joining this webinar session. I hope we have given value for your time. We have answered all your questions. And if you have any business requirement and you want us to map with Liferay, feel free to contact us on this email. We will be available to transform your business requirement, your ideas into impact. So that's what we have for today's webinar. Thank you for joining again. Yeah, thanks. Bye.